Chapter 12. Fun Looting Time. Even though the defeated notification came up properly, Ori's body is still there. Have I figured out how to pronounce her name yet? I haven't. She didn't shatter and disintegrate into nothing like people and monsters usually do when you defeat them. Will there be a quest or something, I wonder? Although right now I don't have the leisure to be thinking about such things. A spearhead narrowly misses me as I dodge out of the way, and the wielder spits out a "damn you!" A furious meanness to deal with, huh? Good. Let's keep this going. Oops, if I don't check myself, the chibi's gonna call me a mass-murdering yokai again. Minus draws back. Minus or minus? Yeah, it's just names, man. Minus draws back, his face black with anger, and readies himself for another attack. Very well, let me take your spear. As he stabs out, I parry with my left axe and swing downward with my right. Clang! Although our weapons resonate with a jarring blow, nothing happens to the spear. Weapon durability, I forgot. Even though it looks like a thin rod of wood, I need to deal more damage than the haft of the spear to break it. Annoying game mechanics. Because I got a little too into it and forgot about how the game works, the only thing I managed to do is damage both of our weapons. Although I've at least managed to unbalance him, unslamming the head of his spear against the ground like that. Minus clicked his tongue, and both he and I leapt back to take our distance. We stare each other down like some sort of samurai duel, but I can't take too long to glare at him. It's coming back! What do we do? Akka, Oi, and Orange are panicking like idiots. If you can't handle it, then back up and take cover, you blockheads. Jeez. Out of the corner of my eye, I see pins of green magic flying. Wind needle, huh? I'll leave it to you for a little while longer, Judy. Whatever. Between whoever moves loses first, and whoever acts first controls the battle, I'm a more proactive person. Say-ya! Say-ya! And my yell minus flinched. What have I been saying the whole time? Minus flinched, bringing up his spear. Like I'd come straight at you like that. A backstep, a turn, and a dodge to the side, then strike! Minus flinched and fell back by my axe, as my axe bit into his side, but that's not going to be my only strike. For the first time, I swing my left axe, the intent to injure. It's weak after all. Not just because of the damage penalty, my dexterity with my left hand is horribly lacking. In that case, with a wide swing directly toward Minus's guard from my right, I activate Raining Blows. A pity it was directed at the place where he was guarding himself, but with 5 high-impact blows and an unmissable range, although the damage I did before, at the end there was a discernible crack, and Minus's spear splinters into 2 parts. Seeing his look of disbelief, I can't help but let loose a nasty grin, and I headbutt him right in the chest. The stomach would have been better, but I'm not in the right position to aim for it. With a slight throbbing sensation in my forehead, I struggle to keep up the assault. No moment for resisting. Before he could recover his footing, Minus's body froze and then shattered into many, many tiny pieces before disintegrating into thin air. Yush! After taking care of the interlopers, it's time to go after the big prey. Oi, Jitty, you 3 blockheads. Pull back and give me support fire. What are you going to... Don't call us blockheads! Oh, nice response, if they're so lively. I see. We were a bit lucky. The draking was forced on the bandits, huh? To think there is a friendly fire among non-player mobs. It's a good sign for the rest of the game. Although, with the people I have to worry about being pulled back out of the way, it's time to work hard for 5 minutes. Huh? Yeah! What?! Jitty shrieked as I ran out in front of everyone. Because I ran out in front of everyone? Because I narrowly missed her as I ran? Because I'm a bear? The drakeling notices me quickly. Well, I'm a giant white bear in a dusty, rocky environment who is also wielding dual battle axes, so I stand out quite a bit. For the hell of it, I roar loudly in response to the drakeling. It's a shame. My own roar isn't as intimidating when compared to the roar of, a giant flying lizard that's bigger than me. Now, there is one problem with fighting this thing, which is that it flies. Even though I really want to try to do some sort of move like jumping on its back and fighting it like that, it's a question of surface area. It's not a dragon or a drake, it's a drakeling. The target area to land on is, it's barely the size of a mini car. Yeah, this is not a good situation to try a flying jump. If that's the case, I stow the beginner's axe away, leaving my left hand free to avoid any penalties. Oi, you lizard brain! Where you going? Scared? I don't have the provoke type skill, but making loud noises and being conspicuous seems to have done the trick, and the drakeling looks over with a glare, leaving the broken remnants of the bandits alone. And with a loud roar, the flying lizard swoops at me, and... Chesto! What? I missed. Does a big flying wizard like this have any right to be that dexterous? It takes some distance to do another rush. Lizard or wizard? Oi, you three blockheads! Direct them this way! Like we said, don't call us blockheads! Although they protest, Oyaka and Orange obediently shoot a hail of arrows toward the Drakeling, limiting its movement as it swooped in a second time. And, wait for it, and clang! No good. Even though it didn't veer as much as it did the first time, the Drakeling took the axe head-on without a headbutt. It reduced the damage with a headbutt. It reduced the damage by attacking? Alright. The AI is too good, so... And how about this? Even though it blew my right hand axe away, my left hand, or paw, is still free, you know? At the last second before it crashed into me in the cliff, I went to veer off toward my right, but it's not like I'm going to let you get away. Gah! With a roar, I dug my claws into the wing of the Drakeling that was closest to me, and from the sharpness of my claws and the force from the Drakeling trying to get away, I managed that wing pretty good. Mangled that wing. It roared in pain, crashing into the ground as it writhed, then tried to take the skies again. Take to this guy. Like I'm going to let you? Alright, Judy, you three blockheads, let him have at it. Don't worry about me. I throw aside my axe to give the Drakeling's wing a good painful hug. Digging in my claws, I grit my teeth preparing to get hit with friendly fire. Although I will probably only get hit with a blockhead's arrow, since Judy's gotten pretty good at shooting magic while avoiding me. The arrows scatter into the Drakeling's hide, some narrowly grazing me, and every once in a while, the body of the Drakeling shudders as a heavy wind magic hits it. The Drakeling flails desperately. It wants to tear me off, but its neck isn't quite long enough to reach around to get at me, and so it can only bash its neck against me. It roars in pain as it's being prepared with arrows and wind magic, struggling to get away, peppered with arrows. I grit my teeth and dig in. Strength buff, don't fail me now! Even as I'm getting dragged along, especially since the ground is too hard to really dig my feet in, a creaking sound comes from the wing and body. Is it doing continuous damage as I'm wrestling it down? The wing feels like it's going to break. Well then, my axe is lying over there. Both of my arms are occupied. It's time to try out that thing that I'm not too keen on trying out. I open my mouth wide and bite down. The Drakeling's screech resounded in my ears. It squirmed harder to try to break free, but the only thing that happens is a satisfying feeling of flesh and bone giving away beneath my claws and teeth. It's not pleasant, the taste of the body fluids erupting in your mouth, but there's a strange sense of empowerment. If I had normal teeth, I'm sure it would feel like my teeth were getting pulled out, or that I can't get a good grip. But with fangs of a bear, my teeth dug into the Drakeling's flesh like tiny daggers, and as it tried to get away, instead of losing my hold, my teeth simply dig in deeper and toward gaping wounds. I twisted my upper body suddenly. With a violent wrench, the wing snapped and completely tore off, leaving the Drakeling crippled and in pain on the ground. Throwing the destroyed wing on the ground, I scrambled out of the agonized flailing of the Drake and seeked out my axe that was thrown about in a tussle. This entire time, the three blockheads and Judy have been continuously assaulting it with arrows and magic, and with it bleeding out the side like there's no doubt that... what? Bleeding out at the side like there's no doubt that, as long as no one does anything stupid... Side like that, like this... Okay, bleeding out the side like this, there's no doubt that as long as no one does anything stupid, it will have it dead in the end without too many casualties. Looking at the Drakeling, as I try to catch my breath, it wasn't the easiest to breathe while biting down like that. It has to be under half health, that's what my intuition was saying. Which might not be all that wrong, considering I took sharp senses. Although it won't give you the skill that lets you watch your opponent's HP, there should be a passive... But I don't know if it only lets you predict the critical hit zones, or if it actually helps you sense how much HP your opponent has left. Either way, that lizard crawling on the ground over there doesn't look good at all. On one hand, it seems to want to get its revenge on me, but on the other, it wants to stop the arrows. Twisting this way and that, the Drakeling actually seems panicked and unsure of itself. Well, as much as I'd like to sit and watch and see how advanced the AI is, I'd like to hurry up and end this long, annoying escort quest. I approach the head of the Drakeling, and it just weakly snaps at me. It seems like the end for you, so obediently become my XP! Zedong! My last blow to its cranium didn't quite end it, but the next volley of arrows and Judy's fully ended the Drakeling's life. With a hiss like a balloon leaking air, the Drakeling convulsed a little, then flopped down before shattering into a million fragments, leaving behind only the drop items. Whoa! We're still alive, with almost no damage! Yay! As the three blockheads are celebrating, I look sourly at the one wagon that bore the brunt of the bandit Drakeling attack. It doesn't look good, but it can still go down the road, so we should be okay. The town is just up ahead, right? Hopefully. While we were basking in the aftermath of the battle, from behind us... they're, they're weakened, so... Oh yeah? The bandits were still here. What are they saying? Aren't they in worse shape than we are? Look, there are like 2.5 of them left. With 1 minute left to wear bear form, I can only turn to look at them with a grin. Obediently become my XP! Werebear form is worn off and increased to level 10. And has been enhanced. The cooldown is now 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes. I set that aside for now. It's looting time! The drop items from the Drakeling aren't that great, but my scavenge is good enough that we got 5 pelts, 10 scales, and 2 fangs off of it. Aside from the cheap change and vendor trash, there was an unidentified light armor boots. Light armor. I guess I'll just give the boots to Judy, and we'll divide the crafting material drop items. The bandits didn't drop anything interesting, mostly just vendor trash, but Minus dropped a spear. But you broke it. Turncoat spear. Spear. After fending off a double crosser, he left behind his weapon, a decent spear. I guess like when he died, he left the full spear, even though she broke it. That's cool. All right. Attack plus 25% damage. Pierce. Durability 80 out of 100. Special 5% chance of multi-attack. Green quality. That is uncommon, but it's not the best weapon. Plus 25% damage. Isn't that bad? Bad. Well, I guess, but even though my axe is a fixed damage of about plus 87 to 92 damage, that's almost 50% my current damage output, you know? Even the beginner's axe was doing about plus 30% damage when I first got it. Although I did outlevel it fast, so before I got my Spectre's End, it was only doing about plus 5% damage output in the end. Nah, it feels like this spear should be used as a backup weapon. Although I hate fighting with spears, so maybe I can sell it. But really, even though I broke Minus a spear in battle, the drop is still at 80 out of 100 durability. Games are amazing. Anyway, on to more interesting things. Audie's corpse is just lying there. It's probably a hidden quest or something, like bury her or whatever, but let's first look through her pockets. She was an orderly woman, so it doesn't take too long. The results were Kit Wayfarer's magic bag. This magic bag is designed to hold the tools most Wayfarers use. Special, this magic bag can hold one of each of the following: water purifier, flint and steel, book of matches, candle, twine, chalk, signal whistle, compass, spyglass, penknife, pry bar. Wayfarer's cloak, apprentice. Cloak. The cloak of apprentice Wayfarer, an official cloak of the Wayfarer Society. Defense, plus 2 defense, plus 5 against pierce. Durability, 60 out of 80. Special, waterproof. A fallen Wayfarer's pass, Ori. Important item. Leather pass with an upside-down cross emblazoned on it, with the letter N emblazoned at the top above an arrow. A pass of a fallen Wayfarer. Special, the Wayfarer Society will want to know about their loss. Mysterious letter, black, important item. This letter has an emblem of a ring that surrounds the lower half of a circle, but it's otherwise unsigned. Contents. As an innate spy we've placed in the Wayfarer Society, we ask that you prove your worth. A caravan merchant named Jamina will be carrying an artifact of valuable interest. Meet our contact to hear the details. This letter will serve as one of the signs. Special. The Wayfarer Society will want to know the contents as much as others may not wish for the contents to be known. Somehow I don't really want to wear a cloak taken off a dead person, even though if it was a regular job I wouldn't mind it. And as for the kit, Ori, you're out of candles. At the same time, a compass, a spyglass, and a water purifier. Those are super expensive items, aren't they? I hope the Wayfarer Society doesn't want those back. Okay, who cares about the cloak and the kit, right? What are those 2 other things, right? Of course I pocket the important items as well. But as for what I'm going to do with them... the pass aside, I'm not sure what to do with the mysterious letter. Wait. Of course I pocket the important items as well. But as for what to do with them, the pass aside, I'm not sure what to do with the mysterious letter. Even though I won't insist on staying in good standings with all their reputation factions. How should I say it? This Black Letter faction looks like it would be troublesome if I get into bad standings with them. I'll think about it later. For now, I head over to where Judy is sitting. Judy. Waiting for the 3-block and Jamino to fix the wagon and shift the cargo around. Hoi, Judy, do you want any of the drops from Mounty Sonori? No, you killed them by yourself, right? No, you helped me out by guarding Jamino, right? But I don't say anything. I don't know. It might be low of me, but I really want everything in the kit. Judy staggered warily against one of the wagons. 2 empty MP bottles lay next to her. Although it was a short battle time-wise, I see that it drained her MP pretty badly. She should be careful in taking too many of those at once, though, or she'll hit the potion sickness bad status. It's very similar to mild drunk bad status, with an added demerit of reducing the effectiveness of potions. Judy glares, although it's more of a pout with her at me, and says, "That wasn't how you were supposed to take down a drakeling at all." Well, saying there's a way you're supposed to take down a monster is... I shook my shoulders. Even if there are things... even if things are made so you have a lot of freedom to finish quests and stuff, whoever heard of wrestling a drakeling to the ground? That's true, I laugh. No, you're saying like it has nothing to do with you. And what was with that second form? That's definitely at least a high rare ability. It's so rare that even NPCs aren't coded to react to that. Is that how it is? I was wondering why Jamino and the others didn't react to the fact that I turned into a giant white bear, only saying something like, "We're glad that you had more power hidden in there." I see. So I can't expect more personalized interactions with the NPCs when I'm in werebear form. Anyway, I'm answering all of Judy's rants simply because there's something that I'd like to ask her. So, hey, Judy, you wouldn't happen to be a hidden GM or something like that? Just kidding. As soon as the words left my mouth, Judy's face turns an astonishing shade of blue. I stare at her. Seriously? No, what are you talking about? Her eyes are all jittering all over the place. Even though the conversation was supposed to go, "Are you a hidden gem?" No way, right? Then you're a programmer, designer or something. Tee, how'd you know? I just wanted to check it out from the consumer's point of view. I shake my head, holding a hand to my forehead and sigh. This girl, no, woman, has way too many openings. Oh, so you were just guessing. I know for sure now, though. It's impolite to pat an older woman on the head, so I just pat her on the shoulder awkwardly instead and say, "Well, don't worry about it. I don't really like doing things like optimizing gameplay or finding out all the secret places, so it's not like I'm going to use it against you or tell anyone anything." Judy groaned and dropped her face into her hands. Even though I told my supervisor this would happen, even though I asked if I could just moderate the BBS and World Chat, this isn't my fault. It's just bad personnel assignment. It sounds like Judy has a hard time in the workplace. As a college student, I'm not really sure what to say to that, so there's just some awkward silence, until Jamino interrupts with a, "All right, we're about ready to go." And we're on the road again. Judy is sitting in the back of one of the wagons, and I'm walking awkwardly next to it. She still seems really upset, but finally she sighs. So how did you know? Is she kidding? I barely managed to stop myself from saying the second part out loud. Well, she already knew about the tendencies of mobs and NPCs, considering this is the first week of the game being online. Oh. And then you knew about the details about the caravans heading out west without having the quest yet, even though it's not widely known information in the forms of wikis. Oh. And okay, stop, I get it. Judy turned bright red and buried her face into her hands. I should have taken it slow and stayed near the beginners areas. Well, don't mind it. I'm the only one here anyway, and I'll protect Judy's secret, so you only need to be careful from now on. If anyone asks, just say you barely got through because you're with me. Well, it's the truth, but why did you bother saying that? I stare at Judy a little. Well, wouldn't it be difficult to explain how you got here at average level 5? So if you just say you were dragged along by me, it would cover up all the weird parts. Judy's boss. Is this really going to be okay? Talents. Axe level 15, Bolster Endurance level 15, Sharp Senses level 12, Scavenge level 13, Spirit of the Wild Hunt level 11, Inheritance of the Forest Guardian level 10. Average level 12, Talent Points 14. Extra About the Game Part 7. Potions. There are instant HP and MP potions, as well as delayed HP and MP potions. The first recovers HP and MP immediately, while the second recovers over time. How much and how quickly is all dependent on the quality and types of HP and MP potions. In order to limit people from constantly downing potions, not only is the purchase of HP and MP potions limited to 5 each a day from NPC vendors, but there's also a bad status called Potion Sickness. After 2 potions, when you take the third, you will gain the bad status, Potion Sickness. It makes you mildly disoriented with the queasy feeling that comes with getting potion bad status, and also the third potion will only be 80% effective. The effectiveness in consecutive potions will continue going down by 20% for each additional potion. And yes, it is possible for the potion to begin taking negative effect. In other words, if you persist in drinking potions, the potion sickness will change to a potion bad status, also known as overdose by players. And there's the author note if you want to. Hey, look, there's an advertisement. So, I recorded this video with a screen recorder from my computer, which is probably just how I should have been doing this from the start. but you know, we're working pretty well. Um, yeah.